Hi guys. All right, take two. So I did this video this morning and then my newborn woke up and then I got her and then I went back to finish the video and I thought I actually finished it. Unfortunately, what happened was I only recorded the second half, so you missed the whole first half, which was most of the meat and potatoes. And then she spit up all over me and she spit up on me like 3 more times today. But now my toddler is down and now she is fed and she's happy and she's in her little jumper right here. So I'm gonna do this video again. So my point to sharing that is because I want to share with you how our team has been able to sell over $1 million of product in 94 days. 94 days. Unreal, unbelievable, crazy. But I wanted to give you some top tips because I've been receiving a lot of private messages and a lot of emails and different things. And while I would love to give like extensive tips and one-on-one to everybody, I am only one person and I hope you get some nuggets from here. But I love my team and I'm pouring as much into them as possible. We are a little over 550 girls as of now. We are just growing every day and it's super exciting. And so I wanted to share with you because I truly feel like our team has this secret sauce. We know the secret sauce to success. And so I want to share that with you guys today. Hopefully that you can take back to your business and your team and you guys can take it to the next level. So the reason for me sharing that whole first bit, because I didn't change my shirt, because I don't care, right? While I do think you should keep a personal, professional look about you, and you certainly want to uphold your brand, part of my brand is being a mom, right? This is just my life, right? And I do love this shirt. I couldn't be happier than the fact that our color is royal blue because it's one of my favorites. But my point to that is, I am myself, right? And so to be relatable is really important in this business, right? And so if you look at my team and you look at all of the people who are on there, there's in some way, shape, or form, it feels like I can connect with all of them in some way. So being relatable is absolutely important. And so you do not have to uphold this perfect person because guess what, y'all? I'm a hot mess. And that is part of me also sharing from this morning. So I'm wearing a shirt with spit up all over it. I thought I recorded the video at first, and I didn't, right? And so that leads me into my next tip is to be willing. If you want to be successful, you have got to be willing to fail forward. The only difference between successful people and not successful people are that successful people fail and they pick themselves up and they move forward. Unsuccessful people fail, they get themselves so discouraged and they let the mind monsters go crazy and they literally, they talk themselves out of it, right? So I want to assure you that myself, along with every single girl on my team, has made mistakes in the last 94 days. I have probably made the most, right? And that's okay because mistakes are what make us. They are what teach us what to do next. So you want to always keep that mentality in your head. Do your best until you know better, and then do better. Really, there are no perfect people, right? And so simply be willing to fail, but use your failures as a launching pad to the next level of success instead of letting it bring you down. I don't even have all the time today to tell you all the failures I've had in the last 94 days, and I certainly don't have any time to tell you all the last failures I've had in the last 3 years since I've gotten into direct sales, and I don't have time really to tell you the last 33 years of my life. So I have made a lot of mistakes. I have failed a lot in every single area of my life, business included. And I think, what I look at it now is that those were literally just lessons to teach me how to do it better. And I truly feel like all of those failures in my past, especially in my last business, have taught me how to approach this one different. And so my failures are now, I've just failed forward. I just keep failing, and just keep going, right? And just do better the next time. So those are 2 of my tips. Another one is to build rhino skin. Think of a rhinoceros. They're thin, their skin looks super thick and super tough, right? And what I mean by that is by building rhino skin, you have got to have 100% belief in you, 100% belief in your team, 100% belief in our products, 100% belief in our business. And I know right now in our crazy growth period and our growth spurt, right? When we have out of stock things, we're not having a lot of product to order, all of these different things, it is really easy to start letting those doubts get in your head. But if you aren't 100% sure, then why would anybody else be? Especially if you're a leader, then why would your team be? Because here's the truth. The speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. And if you slow down, your team is most likely going to slow down, right? And so keeping that mindset of what are your goals? Why are you here? What made you fall in love with the products in the first place? You have to understand that any business that has grown the size and how quick SeneGence has grown in the last 5-6 months, you have got to understand that that is crazy. Like that is something a CEO, I'm sure Joni has dreamed of, and it's happened, but it's all happened at once and it's crazy. All I can say is, goodness, I pray for Joni, because that girl, she needs some grace, and she needs she needs like a day off, because I can only imagine how stressed she is. Those of you that are leaders who are getting messages every day from your downline, right? Or you're getting messages in your team page. I understand, right? I'm getting the same thing and I'm still new, right? But the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. And this kind of goes in the same category, is that your attitude can change your altitude, right? Your attitude, how you approach this business, whether you look at it like we only have 2 colors. Okay, so there was, for the few days that we only had blue-red, instead of our team just complaining about only having blue-red, all we did for those few days was post selfies of ourselves in blue-red and just shared it and was like, yay, sold a blue-red. Yay, I got a compliment today. We made it fun. We changed the attitude of it, and we changed the whole the idea around only having one. And we were like, dang it, if Joni only gives us blue-red, we're going to sell blue-red, right? And so everything is about your attitude and your mindset. And I think, every once in a while, you're going to get people in your team that are going to be what I call vampires. And I'm going to share a book with you later that'll explain that a little bit more. But if you have people in your life who are vampires, right? That rhino skin, there are going to be people who don't believe in direct sales. Those people who are just planting those seeds in your ear and they're just trying to rain on your parade, you have to build thick skin, and you have to know why you're here. You have to believe in it, and you have to just be able to bless and release, right? Bless and release and let them go, because they don't pay your bills. Your friends, your family, anybody, whoever, someone on social media, their opinions do not pay your bills. So why do you care, right? You cannot care about other people's opinions. You have to build rhino skin, and you have to be confident in who you are in order to just keep going. And so with that being said, I said about the attitude in your team. So that is huge as a leader too. The attitude and the culture that you create in your team page. What do you allow? So here is a tip, because I think oftentimes there is no doubt about it. Everybody gets frustrated. Everybody gets, overwhelmed. Everybody has, I'm human, right? I am so far from perfect. But here's the deal. When I have an issue, I don't complain in my team page, right? Why would I put that burden and that stress or anything else on my girls? Why would I do that? And so here's my tip for you as a leader. And that means simply, if you even just have one customer, you're leading your customers. If you have one distributor underneath you, you are leading that one distributor, right? So what I want to share with you is you are going to complain up and you are going to build down. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. So as a leader, you are the one who sets the tone. You are the one who sets the pace for your team. You are the one who sets the culture, the attitude, everything. That is a lot. That's a lot of opportunity, right? And so if you have a bad day and you have a question, or your order's back ordered, or whatever, complain up. Go to your mentor, go to your sponsor and say, hey girl, I'm having a bad day. I need help, right? But you want to build down. You don't want to go into your team page and complain about something, or you don't want to chime in on somebody else's negative comment and just get everybody going, right? And so here is a extra tip. If there is somebody in your team who is being a vampire, who is sucking the life out of you, and who is trying to just get people going because of the negativity, right? Negativity breeds negativity, and positivity breeds positivity. You have the choice of how your team page goes, right? If I get a post in my team page, and there have been a few, not many, because they know my expectation, but there have been a few that I simply go and I delete it, and I will private message the person, and I will say, hey, let me help you out, right? And you have to sympathize with them, because y'all, this is kind of crazy, right? But why are so many of us allowing lipstick and makeup to truly like ruin our day, that is giving a lot of power to a situation and a thing that's out of your control, right? And I refuse to let somebody else steal my joy, because y'all, we're talking about makeup here, right? And most of us are talking a lot about lipstick. And I keep telling my team, guys, we're not talking about a heart transplant. I understand when you get your box and it only has glossy gloss and oops, that is like super frustrating, right? Because now you've got 15 customers who just ordered in your launch party and now they don't have their colors. Yeah, I get it. That's really frustrating. But we're not talking about a heart transplant where you possibly are going to lose your life tomorrow. So let's all just kind of put that into perspective and really remember what we are dealing with. Most people in direct sales, this is their second income, right? And while so many of us see great opportunity and so many of us realize that, oh my gosh, this could help my family be financially free. This could bring my husband home. This could earn us vacations. This can do this. This can do that. This can get out of debt, all that stuff. Those things are great. But for most people, this is a second income, right? Unless you're like me now, where you were crazy and you gave up your other income and you just decided to go all in with this, right? But for the most part, it's our second income, and we have to keep it into perspective, guys. It's just makeup, right? And all of this stuff, Joni and her team are working furiously to fix all this. I say it like this: the problems have been fixed. They just have to take a while to actually like implement and to really be fixed, right? So hang tight, but your team page, your culture, what you allow, the tone that you allow in your team page is crucial, in my opinion, to your team's success. Because if you teach people how to treat you. And I have taught my team that you are not going to talk to me with just a bunch of negativity, right? You can definitely vent, and I will sympathize with you, because guess what? My bougainvillea gloss didn't come either. And I had customers that I had to say, hey girl, I'm so sorry. Our explosive growth, has just caused some craziness. I'm going to get you your gloss as soon as I get it, but I just want you to know it's going to be a little bit longer than I expected, right? Kill them with kindness. Again, hopefully they're not like, this isn't life or death for them because they didn't get their gloss. So your attitude and the culture that you allow in your team is totally crucial. So I want you to remember, complain up and build down. Keep the positivity alive with your team, because mindset is everything, right? And so many people who get into this business are already fighting those mind monsters, telling them that they're not going to do well at this, that they failed in another business before, that, this is going to be hard and this is going to cost a lot of money, or they don't have the time to do it all. I mean, or their spouses maybe aren't supportive, or their family's not supportive, all that stuff. You have to know that you're dealing with people who are constantly dealing with mind monsters, right? And you just want to smash them and tell them to get out of here, right? And be a light, right? Be positive in your team, because it matters. They are going to feed off of your energy, whatever that is. All right. Then my next tip is, let's see. I think I've pretty much kind of gone through most of them. Hold on. Oh, yeah, this is one that is huge, right? So how have I been able to recruit this many people? So I know a lot of you know that I've been in a direct sales business prior to this, and I was successful. Not as wildly as successful as I've been with SeneGence, which is amazing, I think for multiple reasons, but I did not recruit one person from my last business, right? I did not reach out to any of them and say, hey girl, you need to come with me, right? I didn't want to do that, because I wanted them, if their dreams were in that last business, I wanted them to stay there. Now, a lot of them have come and asked me, right? And they ask me because I'm an open book and I share all the time about what the business is doing for me. So when it started out and I wasn't making a lot of money, I was sharing that I felt alive with lip color. I'm a postpartum mom. My baby's only 4 months old, right? I feel good. I haven't felt this good in a really long time. And then I started sharing the little pieces of success. Oh my gosh, I welcomed 5 new girls to my team, right? All those things, right? So every step along the way, for example, this morning in my online store, I did a live video, which I try to go live every other day. And I said, hey girls, help me out. I need you to help me pick a color. And I told them that I was doing this video because our team has reached over $1 million in sales. And I wanted to share my top tips for other entrepreneurs. And I truly believe all of these tips can you can put these toward anything in your life, whether it's a job, whether it's an entrepreneurial job or whatever. And so I basically allow them to be part of my life. I allow them to be part of my business. So it's not really like business transaction. I am the makeup artist or the salesperson who's selling makeup, and I'm going to sell it to you, and then you're going to go on your way. Speaking of, Katie Enos, I hope I said your name right? Like, I adore her, and I love her videos because I'm like trying to figure out how she's doing her smoky eye and how to use her shadow sense and all that stuff. But guess what? I'm not Katie, and I am not a makeup artist, right? That's what I love about direct sales, is that you don't have to be a cookie cutter. You don't have to fit into a mold of any one thing to be successful. And so I think the other thing is how our team has been able to be successful. And we do have makeup artists on our team, but we have other people who do all other kinds of things. You have to look at your life and your history of your life and feel and realize, like, what have you been through? What have you gone through that you can pull from that to then help this business be successful? And I truly believe that we are all given gifts, that we need to know our strengths and we need to know our weaknesses. And when we know our strengths, we can play to our strengths. And then that is the kind of business we need to build our business around, right? And so while I certainly hope when I go to seminar this next week, somebody's going to be like willing to do my makeup, because I'm a hot mess when it comes to makeup. I really don't even know all the tips. I watch YouTube videos. I do that stuff. I've gone into Sephora and I've gone into MAC and had my makeup done, right? I have girlfriends who are makeup artists. And like I said, we have some on our team. But that's not my gift, right? And so you cannot compare yourself to somebody else, whether that's Katie, because she is an amazing makeup artist and she does crazy things with shadow sense and every other kind of makeup that we have, whether it is somebody else who has extreme skills in Instagram, right? And I'm telling you, the minute I start looking at other people and thinking, what are they doing, right? How are they being successful? And I start comparing myself, my business and my self-esteem and all of it starts to just go downhill, right? You have to stop doing that. It's okay to admire somebody and to learn from them, but you cannot compare yourself to them, right? And that is my other really big tip. Your journey is your journey. Your story is your story. Put your blinders on like a racehorse and just go, right? Don't look over here. Don't look over there. Just go forward. Fail forward, right? I don't know if you've seen that meme with Michael Phelps over, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was the Olympics the meme was from or whatever, but there was a big race that he was doing a swim, and the guy next to him looked behind him, right? And he ended up losing because he was so worried about what the competitor was doing, right? Don't do that. And I've done that before. I did it for the last 3 years and it totally sucks the life out of you guys. Don't do that. Just put your blinders on and go forward. Learn from other people, take tips from other people, but don't compare yourself and figure it's like comparing apples to oranges. It won't work, right? All right. I think I already shared that your energy, and you don't have to be super talkative like me. Honestly, sometimes I annoy myself, right? You don't have to be super energetic, but your energy is contagious. And you have to ask yourself, is yours worth catching, right? Is it worth catching? Because if you're just a big bump on a log, your team's probably not going to be that enthusiastic with you. Your store is not going to be that enthusiastic with you. And then you're not going to get sales. And then you're not going to get people who want to become distributors. It all goes together. Mindset is huge. It is huge, huge, huge. And it'll take you so much further than any skills, right? All right, let me make sure that I got through all these. I do have 2 final ones, and then I have a couple tips at the very end to share with you. I think I kind of opened with this one, but the be relatable, right? So like spit up on my shirt. My toddler wouldn't eat his lunch. I mean, there's just so many things, but I get on my videos in my store all the time and I am not like super pretty. I don't have all my makeup done, right? I just am me and I'm relatable, because that's the beauty of direct sales, is that you can be an average person, right? I don't think anyone's average because God doesn't want us to be average, but you can be the average person, right? And you can still be successful, be successful, because you want people to be able to relate to you, right? Like I don't have some like crazy famous family member or whatever, right? I'm just me. And because I am me, I am my brand, and you are your brand. Whatever you are, whoever you represent, you're you, right? And that is what makes you so special. And that is what's going to make people relate to you and want to join you on this journey. My last 2 tips are, Oh yeah, don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 10, right? Like getting into this business can be intimidating because you see other people successful and you want that success. You can have that success, but you don't know their journey, right? And just because, and that's, you don't know their journey and you cannot compare yourself, your 1 to their 10. So my last 2 tips, and then I have, last 3 tips actually, they kind of all go together. Have fun. Y'all, this is makeup, right? So many people are getting their panties in a bunch because the stuff's on back order and we only have a few to order from and all that stuff. Y'all, this is makeup. Have fun, right? Don't give that much power over something over your life to change you, right? And then my next is, if you're the praying kind, pray about your business. Whether you believe in God or not, I'm telling you, if you don't think someone's hearing you, I promise you someone hears you, because I pray every day. I pray for myself. I pray for my team. I pray for God to put the right people in my life. And I'm telling you, it works. It works. And that doesn't mean just because you pray, you're going to get everything you want. But I promise you, it will make things a lot easier knowing that your success is in the hands. You got to work for it, right? You definitely have to work for it. I'm up very often till 2 or 3 in the morning, most nights I feel like. But pray about your business. And in the moments of your self-doubt, because we all have them, right? No matter how confident we may look or sound or act or whatever, no matter what, we all have self-doubt at some point. And just remember, God does not call the qualified. You don't have to have this big, long checklist to be a leader. You don't have to have this big, long checklist to be successful, right? And to get into this business or to know how to do sales or whatever. You simply have to be willing to learn and be willing to put yourself out there, be willing to fail forward, because God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. So there's so much opportunity in this business. It gives me absolute chills. I am so proud of my girls. I'm so proud of our team and the attitude that we've had going into this craziness. It gets me super excited just to think where we will be 6 months from now when we do have all the stock available and when everything else is just ironed out, right? There will be a day where we all say, do you remember when we only had blue red for like 3 days straight, right? And we can look back on this and think, wow, that's crazy. We got through all that. And now look at us now. So keep your head down, put your blinders on, and keep moving forward. Keep a positive attitude. And here is my very last tip as to how I keep a positive attitude. Because if y'all think I just wake up, I am not over here like pooping rainbows and unicorns and glitter and all that stuff. I understand this isn't like this is a little stressful, right? I had 2 days last week where I seriously was just like, Jesus, take the wheel. Cause I don't even know what else to do. Like a million questions and I don't have answers to them all, right? Y'all, those are the days that I like doubled up on my personal development. And I was like, I just need to pour into myself, because as leaders, oftentimes you're pouring out, right? You're giving to other people. Even in a business, right? If you don't even have a team yet, but if you're selling, you're pouring into your customers, right? And you're trying to help them. And so when you're pouring out, you have to remember to fill up your cup, and personal development is filling up your cup. You can't drink out of an empty cup, right? You have to have something in it, right? So filling up your cup is personal development. And I want to just clarify, I was never a reader prior to getting into direct sales 3 years ago, right? I never read. I was a teacher for 3 years and still never read, right? The only thing I read is like magazines. And I promise you, if you are willing to give yourself 10 minutes a day or 10 pages a day of some type of personal development book that is going to allow you to pour into yourself, to refresh and renew your mind, and to give you positive things that's going to play over in your head, right? Your life will change, right? Because life is not, 10% of life is what happens to you, 90% is how you handle it. And personal development, keeping your mind in the right place, is totally going to make a huge difference. And so I want to give you I want to give you 5 books. I'm going to give you 5 books that I highly recommend you picking up at some point over the next 6 months and reading. Your goal should be at least 1 book a month, at least, right? And so there are several. Number 1 is Tribes by Seth Godin. If you are looking to build a thriving team, if you want to have $1 million team or a $5 million team or a $10,000 team, I don't care what you want. If you want a team of women who are working with you, you really want to wrap your head around the idea of building a tribe. And how do you do that, right? Because I'm only one person, and I'm not anything without my girls, right? And so my girls have made up that 1,140 whatever thousand, I don't know what it is right now, right? And so you have to understand how to build a tribe and how to build a successful one. So Tribes by Seth Godin. Number 2 is EntreLeader by Dave Ramsey. That was a little bit of a trickier book to read for me. It's not like super frilly or anything, but there are some really, really great nuggets on leadership in there, and I highly recommend that book. Number 3 is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Direct sales typically is a volunteer business for like 90% of the people who get into it. Most people don't just start this with no other job and have no other source of income, right? So it is a voluntary business, and you have to know your why. Why are you here? And you have to teach your team how to know their why and to keep pushing through the hard times, right? Because there are going to be hard times, right? I think it's just silly to think that any business is going to be super easy, right? So Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Huge, huge, huge. He works with great companies who have great, great culture. So I highly recommend that book. And then my last 2 books are by the same author. And if you don't get any of these books, you have to get this one, right? Because you can apply this to your life. You can apply this to your business. You can apply it to your relationships, everything, right? Last year was the hardest year of my life. Went through just a lot of things, and I was definitely in a funk for a while. And when I got this book, it totally changed my life, and I want to share it with you in hopes that you really grasp the idea of how in control of your life and your happiness that you are. You have all of the control, right? So the book is called The Energy Bus, and it is by John Gordon, and it is awesome, and you need to get it, because I promise you, if you can just let it sink in, it will change your life and your perspective. And if you like that book, The Energy Bus by John Gordon, you probably will like his Training Camp book, and that's more of a leadership kind of a book. And Training Camp is also by John Gordon, and I really like that book. It was one that I read right after The Energy Bus because I was just in love with it and him, and it's a good book for leaders too. So I have so many other books that I could recommend to you, but that is plenty enough. You don't need to get all 5 of them. Just, if anything, get the Energy Bus book. I promise you, it will change your life and it will change your business. And if you've been feeling like you've been doing it all wrong from here on out, from here, until this point, at any point, you can say, this is not how my story ends, right? And I'm going to be different from here on out, and you can change it. So I hope you got a couple nuggets here and there from that. I want to thank my team so much. It's, and I say my team, but I use the word our a lot because it's not really just like my team, right? It's our team. It is our little family tribe of women who are just amazing. And they inspire me every day. They push me to keep going and to wake up, and you go at it. Just recruit more people, share with more people, because this business is incredible. And I'm telling you, as soon as we get through this hurdle, you guys are going to wish you stuck through it, right? So I'm super excited to meet so many of you at seminar next week. And I wish you all the best in your business. I hope you got something as a takeaway from that, and I hope you have a blessed day.